Welcome to the Flash Performance Garage, where today we're starting a new project. Just what I need, a new project. The project we're working on today is a 1978 GMC Grand Sierra Camper Special Chevy truck that my dad bought brand new back in 1978. Well, we took this truck apart about 10 years ago thinking that we'd be able to start the restoration project. Well, moving, marriage, kids, and me going out of town just kind of slowed that process down. Now that I got a little bit of room to start working on it again, I'm excited to get this thing back on the road, and so is my dad. But the restoration project means that I get to do it. So, not so bad. But here's what we're working with. I have the truck torn down all the way to the frame, and I'm getting ready to paint it. Now, we're not going for showroom quality on this truck. We just want it to be a good daily driver that he can use to tow trailers and just have a good time again. One of the things we were thinking about when we were doing this project is how expensive do we want to go with this? And we're trying to save some money on this. And like I said, we're not trying to do a showroom truck. So instead of sandblasting the frame and powder coating it and go to all that expense, we're going to go a little bit different direction, and we're going to use this. This is Chassis Saver, and this is a rust preventative and rust encapsulation paint made specifically for, well, rusty metal. And that's what this truck has. You can see that it's rusty on the surface, but there's really not a lot of flaking going on. I was able to work on the frame and wire brush all the flaky metal off and get it to a good spot. I power washed it, got it all cleaned up and dried, and now I'm ready to apply the paint. So one of the things about this paint that we have to think about is how we're going to apply it. If you look at the directions on the package, there are lots of different ways. We can do it with a paintbrush, we can do it with a roller, we can do it with an HVLP gun by reducing it, and the way that I've decided to do it is I'm going to use my airless paint sprayer with a small fan tip to be able to paint the frame. It seems to work out really nice because I can keep going without having to reload all the time. This is a rust encapsulation paint, and it's not meant to be a final coat. So we're gonna have to go through and paint a final UV coat over this once it's all done. But we're gonna put at least 2 coats of paint on it and see how this all goes. So let's get started. As I get this project started, I was reading through the directions, and the directions are very good, and it gives you lots of good information on it. This is a single component, no hardeners or catalysts required, but there is minimal surface preparation, so make sure you wire brush it and then clean it off really good, just like I did with this frame. It does penetrate rust and mechanically bonds to the surface, so you want to put this on directly to the metal. You don't need primers or top coats or anything along those lines, and it won't crack, chip, flake, or peel according to the directions. Using my airless sprayer was actually a pretty easy process. I just put the airless sprayer into the paint can and started spraying. I did use a smaller tip, so I only had a 6-inch fan instead of my normal 12-inch fan when I'm painting a house. But this airless sprayer made easy work of it, and I could let it set in the sprayer while I waited for the 3 hours of flash time before putting on the second coat. I have the frame upside down right now, just going through the process and painting the underside, and I'm spraying underneath as much as I can to get that coated as well. I will let this dry after my 2 or 3 coats, flip it over, and then finalize the rest of the top coats on the top side of the frame. And if I miss anything, it's no big deal. I can always go back and use a paint roller or a paint brush. I got most of the brackets done, all of the frame, and I only used a half a can. So this stuff does go pretty far even when you're using a sprayer. I still have to paint the control arms and some other pieces, so that's why I got a gallon. So far I've gotten 2 coats done, and I couldn't be more happy. Even where it was really rough as far as the rust goes, it filled it in nice and actually helped smooth it out quite a bit. Check this out. Now, I'm not completely done yet. I've actually only painted the underside, but to have 3 hours in between coats is gonna make it a long day. So I'm gonna have this dry overnight, and then I'll come flip it over and then do the rest tomorrow. Painting it with an airless sprayer actually worked out really well. I did use a little bit more material than I would have normally just because of overspray, but it made it go very quick. One of the things that I would recommend if you are going to do it this way and use a paintless sprayer is to wear long sleeves. I got it all over my arms, and now I have to clean myself off. And speaking of cleaning up, it cleans up really easy with acetone. So I actually took acetone and ran it through the airless sprayer to clean everything out, clean off the gun, clean out the tip, and all my materials, everything cleaned up really nice. I picked up my chassis saver from my local parts store, but you can pick them up online at your local parts store or even your tool and equipment supplier. They come in different colors and different sheens, so make sure you check them out. It worked great for my project, and maybe it'll work out great for you. I'm Chad from Flash Performance. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.